Hello, everybody, and welcome to our commentary of Disney Pixar's Onward. Basically, everybody, this is actually kind of an interesting movie because it was the first time ever that Disney basically took a movie off theaters and put it on digital very early, in the same month that it came out, even. Because of course, the pandemic that's going on at the time, of course. So basically, it was a case of a movie that unfortunately came out at the most unfortunate of times, sadly. However, everybody, me and Dwibs are proud to say that we were one of the select few people who managed to catch it in the theater before it was pulled out of theaters. Right, Dwibs?
Yep.
Indeed. Yep. Indeed. So me and Dwibs are kind of Onward theater buds. So that's however, everybody, this is a great movie from at least for me, because I, as someone who's been disillusioned with Pixar's recent outings, this is one that really surprised the hell out of me. All right, to give you a basic idea, Jova, the best way I can describe this to you in a vaguely way is that this movie is kind of the Meet the Robinsons of Pixar, in the sense that it's a very personal story for the director, in the same way that Meet the Robinsons was.
Oh, nice.
And it comes off really.
In this case, being Dan Scanlon,
the director and writer of Monsters University, which brings up a good point, Gribbs. Thanks for reminding me. Basically, everybody, you know how right now a lot of bad writers are using the expression "subvert expectations" to hide behind their shitty writing. Well, what if I told you that Onward is a case of how to actually subvert the audience's expectations? But if you saw Dan Skillen's previous movie, Monsters University, you know what I mean, that third act. You know what I'm talking about. And this is a movie where it does it again. That's all I'll say for now. Anyway, everybody, start at 0, right in the black screen right before the Disney logo. As far as I'm aware, there's no different cuts of this thing, so you should be fine, regardless of wherever you got your copy. So, everybody ready?
Ready.
Yep. Okay, 3, 2, 1, click. And Jova, this is your first time watching it, if I remember correctly.
Yes, it is. You and me have tried to get around to watching it, but fate has seen that it's all fit for me to apparently have my first viewing be in proper commentary with my...
nice to have somebody who's new to it here for the sake of it.
I love the film's music as well. It was done by
the Dana brothers.
Jeff Dana.
Oh yeah, the music in this movie is great.
The Great Dinosaur.
It is quite interesting when I'm the one who's the newcomer of the group.
It's all for the best, Dwebs. The music was the best thing about The Good Dinosaur. So
yeah.
So for those who don't know, Pixar kind of had sort of this iffy trend. Like they sort of dug themselves into a hole way back around the 2010s. Tried to get out of it with Monsters University and failed. Tried again with The Good Dinosaur. That went places. Cars 3 happened.
All right,
it
narration.
Sucked. But hey, Coco was good.
It was.
I still have yet to see that.
Oh, Shiroi, you're in for a treat. If you like Book of Life, you'll like Coco.
It's from the director of Toy Story 3.
I did like the Book of Life, actually.
Nice, then.
So there you go. Onward takes place in your typical Dungeons and Dragons fantasy world. Basically, everybody, one of the common things of this movie is that it's basically the best Dungeons and Dragons movie ever made as well. So,
oh, it helps to be a good neighboring citizen.
Yeah, there you go, see? Yeah. Of course. So yeah, this movie also works basically... What you're seeing here, Jova, is basically what the Dungeons and Dragons movie should have been like as well. So.
And it technically isn't even marketed as one, really, and that's quite funny.
Oh, must have rolled a 6 on that.
Yeah, here's the problem. Magic wasn't easy to master. So... Who needs fire when you have a light bulb?
Oh.
Who needs this magic shit?
You know, I wonder how do mermaids get around when they're not in water? Like, I get the swimming pool, but like, how do you get from the swimming pool to
Maybe they have
anywhere else on land.
maybe they use a wheelchair or something. I don't know.
No, maybe. Well, I was thinking more of like a fish tank on wheels, maybe.
And by the way, the unicorns are now dogs scavenging in this trash. All right. Another great thing about this.
Oh my God! It's Spider-Man.
Yes, the casting in this movie is beyond perfect. Tom Holland as the timid, insecure teenager. Yes, of course.
The thing is, when I watched this a second time, we also watched Far From Home, so it's kind of like an unintentional Tom Holland marathon of sorts.
It reminds me of the incredibly missed opportunity to have him be the Spider in.
And here's a little thing for the older crowd, like the mother is played by Julia Louis-Dreyfus, who's mostly known for being Elaine in Seinfeld.
Among other things.
In fact, this is the first time ever, Joe, but here's a little piece of trivia. This is the first time ever that Pixar hired a voice, outside of John Ratzenberger, of course, hired an actor for a film of theirs for the second time, because Julia Louis-Dreyfus was also the Ant Princess in Bug's Life. So this is outside of John Ratzenberger. This is the first time ever Pixar recast an actor from a previous movie.
She's one of my favorite characters. She's a really cool mom.
Well,
so she's been to both Pixar and DreamWorks. Interesting.
Well, hey, this wasn't the first Disney animated film he was in.
No, it wasn't.
Spies in Disguise. That's a Disney movie.
Oh yeah, that technically is.
Technically it is, yes, but only by a technicality.
And amazingly, it turned out to be good despite the awful marketing.
Yeah, it's decent. It's decent. I'll give you that. Anyway, all right. So here's an interesting thing that I love already from.
Oh my God! It's Star-Lord.
And yes, Barley, Ian's brother, is played by Chris Pratt. Basically, he's channeling his old Parks and Recreation time back when he was a bit chubby.
Yeah, it's Andy. Yeah.
So there you go. Fans of Parks and Recreation will get a treat at this as well.
Reminds me of how much a missed opportunity it was that Tom Holland was in Doolittle, but didn't play the spider in it.
You know what? Yeah. And one thing that I find really interesting already about these two brothers, by the way. First of all, Ian looks nerdy, but he's actually not that nerdy. He's not even into Dungeons and Dragons or anything like that. Whereas Barley is a big nerd, a big Dungeons and Dragons nerd, but does he look like a nerd to you at all? Like not
a stereotypical median nerd anyway.
Not really. Like he looks more. I remember sure you told me the first time you saw him, you said that he looked like a punk. So
yeah, kind of. Like I think I said biker specifically, possibly. I don't remember quite what I said, but yeah.
So I do like how the character design is not obvious, as you typically see in animated films. Yeah, he's the stepfather basically.
Or are they dating?
Thank you, Dwebs' phone. You're ruining it, dude.
Huh. Now I'm mad.
Technology ruined you.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing. The theme of technology versus magic is actually handled in the background. It's not the focus.
Which I quite like.
Which I actually really will elaborate in my final thoughts.
It is quite interesting.
Sorry, the film got interrupted because of a phone call. Can you give me a time?
6:36, 37.
6:42.
Click.
Let me guess. The last thing that his dad left for him, isn't it?
Yes. Well, kind of. You'll see.
It's kind of like Aunt May a little bit.
So yeah, typically there's the nerdy brother and the not so nerdy brother. However, like I said, I really like how the character designs are kind of reversed in the way you expect a cartoon to depict two brothers like this.
Well, it's a Disney movie. Parents gotta be dead.
True.
Yeah, he died of
Disney-itis.
Yeah, we're calling it Disney-itis.
Oh, hell. Nowadays, Disney adaptations are killing parents off that weren't dead in the original source material.
Well, at least they get to keep one parent.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about your parent. Imagine advertising that. Don't worry, kids. If your parent dies, you've always got the other one. Kind of disturbing.
It goes back to Walt's old mentality here. Walt had a bit of a cynical attitude about the idea of parenting because his mother died
Yeah.
in a house fire in the house that he had just bought in her.
Oh wow, that's unfortunate.
Well, it typically exists with artists, Jova. Like me and Tara theorized, the whole backstory about seeing a cat get killed that he really wanted to adopt. Like that kind of thing fucks up artists, and
Now
huge.
he's determined to upset me on a regular basis.
So that always has a huge effect on how they write. And anyway, so yeah, as you can see through that notebook, Ian kind of has a little thing where he really wants to be like his dad, because throughout his entire life he's never met him, of course, because he only died. His dad died when he was 1 year old, and when Barley was 3 years old. So he never got to meet his dad, but he all keeps hearing great things about his dad. So as someone who's never had a father figure in his life, he really wants to be like him.
Why don't you sit in the front row, kid? Sit in the front.
Maybe that's where his father
driver's lesson, Dibs. I think you'll appreciate this bit.
Okay.
Oh boy. So Dibs, when you Dibs, when you did have to do this for the first time, were you scared too?
Yes.
My driver exam actually did not take me onto the freeway. So, fun fact, this movie was enough of a hit, apparently, to have a ripoff made off of it.
Yeah.
Called Homeward.
Really?
Yeah, there was a...
Yes. It's a ripoff called Homeward.
Yeah.
Homeward Bound.
I wish. It's one of the most shameless ripoffs since Toy Fable. And no, I'm not kidding. There was actually a movie called Toy Fable.
Indeed.
What next? An insect's diary.
As always, Tom Holland is really good at these kinds of scenes.
And American accents.
Jova, how would you rank Tom Holland's American accent?
I give it an 8. Like, he definitely uses an obvious trick to mask that he's British, but it works out well enough. Oh snap!
All right, this is Barley's van, Guinevere. Wow, an ass crack in a Pixar movie. That's a first.
It is. I feel like we've seen that before somewhere.
You might want to remind me, because I don't remember a Pixar movie having an ass crack in it.
I really feel like I've seen it before in a Pixar movie. It was either Toy Story 2 or possibly in Monsters, Inc. I just feel like I've seen it. I just can't put my finger on it.
A little joke for that will fly over your head, Joe, if you don't mind. Hey, Shiroi Dwibs, watching this in hindsight is so sweet, isn't it? Okay. Okay. So yeah, this is Ian's big problem. He's very insecure and can't seem to get anything right.
And that's one thing that I also like. This, what starts off as a high school movie subverts a lot of tropes because, like, dude, they were still gonna go to your party. They weren't like laughing at you.
He's incredibly
They
inconfident,
wanted to
sure.
hang out with you.
Hold on, Jova. What you're about to see is one of the sweetest scenes in the movie, and I will even be even sweeter when I explain what inspired this scene. So yeah, Dad was a very confident guy according to people, and he can't seem to do the same.
You never knew he was dead, did he?
Nope. He was only 1 year old when he died. However, Jova, here's a tape that he recorded before he died, and that he likes to listen to. Listen there.
Who voices the dad?
I don't know. Feel free to look it up.
Kyle Bornheimer.
Don't know him.
Been in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
No.
Nice.
Oh. All right, Jova. Now I can say it. This movie, Jova, is inspired by Dan Scalen's very own life. Guess who had his dad die when he was a year old?
Dan Scale.
Dan Scalen. So basically, Jova, Ian is actually Dan Scalen. Basically, what you're watching, Jova, is
Also, I love that exchange just there.
what you're watching is a very personal story by him. Basically, in the same way that Steven Anderson, the director of Meet the Robinsons, was an orphan. You know, so that's why I say that this is kind of Pixar's equivalent of Meet the Robinsons, kind of. And basically, Jova, he also had a tape. Basically, someone gave him a tape recording of his father, and that's what inspired him to make this movie. And that scene is basic. So that scene now becomes a lot more emotional when you know the context, isn't it?
Hmm. From beyond the grave.
Yeah, there's your present, the attic. Or the loft, as we call it.
Ooh, a wizard staff.
Maybe that was just his cover story.
Remember, Jova, how earlier Barley said that his game is inspired by history? That's actually true. So basically, this is a world where Dungeons and Dragons is actually a game inspired by real history. It is, with magic.
Necromancy. All right.
Literally magic.
Huh.
Probably.
Wouldn't it be better doing it in the garden?
Huh.
Yeah, but like the narration said, magic is not hard, not easy to master.
I wonder. Maybe
Taking a while.
a specific person has to cast a spell?
I don't know. Maybe. True.
He tried.
I agree, actually.
It's a very sentimental gift.
Sweet. Maybe we should have waited for the cake first. Boy.
Well, at least the cake can kind of serve as a consolation prize now, maybe? I don't know.
I guess when you kind of get hinted at that you may be able to see your dead dad once and that kind of doesn't work out, yeah, that's a bummer.
Yeah, I don't think comfort food is going to help that one, honestly.
Oh, well.
They tried.
Oh?
Oh.
You are the chosen one.
Oh, snap.
Well, Shirley in Harry Potter, not everybody can be a wizard as well, so that this kind of works as well.
Yeah, I mean, to Harry, it just kind of happened.
You're a wizard, Ian.
I'm a what?
A wizard.
Wizard.
Two of Zadar. That's a Dungeons and Dragons reference, by the way.
It's in stages, apparently.
Ooh. So there you go, Jova. Turns out Ian has the wizard gift.
But, oh dear, something's going wrong.
Oh, crap.
Yeah. Joke's on you. I saw the trailer, so I know what's going to be the plot of this movie.
Chris,
Oh.
no, what happened the last time you interfered with something?
Yeah, that pretty much happened.
So Jova, as a fan of Parks and Recreation, what do you think of Chris Pratt's return to his roots, kind of?
He's like Andy, but kind of smarter. Definitely is like Andy in physique. Well, back to his more chubbier days, before he worked out. Oh.
Oh. Oh my God! It's Dad from Cow and Chicken.
You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of that gag in the Simpsons episode where they split the town in half, and they're trying to get revenge on each other, and Homer switches off the electricity to the rich side, and Professor Fink was trying to send Isaac Newton to the modern day, but only his legs came through.
I don't think he can hear you, Barley.
Unless he can, and no, I guess
No,
he
he
can.
like I think they established pretty
But
quickly.
Jova, he can feel though. Yeah, I remember Barley said earlier that this is a thing that they used to do back when Barley was only 3 years old.
Aww. It's one of the most sentimental times a son can have with half of his father.
Yeah, it's a one-time spell.
And his phone broke. Well, I mean, it's not technically 23:59 if he's been around a few minutes, so maybe it's 23:55 or something.
Well, Dwebs, we don't. Well, Dwebs, we don't really. We didn't exactly count those, so let's just round up for good measure.
For the sake of the movie, let's assume that his countdown is accurate.
So yeah, it's Dungeons and Dragons, but we have to call it Quests of Yore because copyright.
Honestly, it's the only lead you've got.
And you know the magic works, so... Sorry, what was that, Jobs?
The other one was taken up.
So, you gonna tell your mother about this? Of course not.
So that's the primary plot, everybody. Ian, of course, wants to get closure and finally meet his dad. Maybe he can give him some advice, like he said in the tape thing. Oh, look at that quest mix.
Again, maybe we should tell Mom about this? Just saying.
They actually did, but through a note.
Of course, through a note.
She would have never let them go if they told her.
New Mushroom Town.
Oh, come on, Jerry. Are you telling me
Oh,
that
look,
you wouldn't let...
Jova, a bridge troll.
Yes, a toll bridge.
But yes, Jova?
Sure, you're telling me that you wouldn't let your kids go if, they brought your dead spouse's bottom half and said, hey, we want to bring back Mom, our other mom, So, could you let us go?
Why, yes, Dan. I also saw Weekend at Bernie's. Dan is, as shown by Monsters University, Dan is a big fan of 80s culture, and this is another example. Not just Dungeons and Dragons, but the dad is going to serve as our Mr. Bernice for this movie, basically. That's cool, yeah.
Very true.
And we're on a road trip, but you gotta do your homework.
Does this mean that literally all you have to do to study magic is to buy a board game? Like, imagine what spells could be in that. A spell to cast gold, which could make you rich. A spell to kill people, which would make you a murderer.
That's the interesting thing, Joe. But the magic exists, and it's perfect, and people know it. It's just that they just don't care anymore. People just don't care to use magic anymore because they don't need it.
It takes effort to use.
Be back with mind-blowing surprise. Yes, that's the best note to leave after your room looks like it's been ransacked.
Yeah, it's like she thinks they might have been kidnapped or something.
Okay, well, what would you think if,
Actually, Jova, she's pretty smart.
Yeah, she deduces it from the trading cards where they're going. So she will actually be also... She's basically, the mom is the B plot, whereas the brothers are the A plot, Jova.
Okay, well, at least it's not a misunderstanding on her part then, I guess.
Oh, no, don't worry about that.
Okay, that's a trope subverted.
I love Televar. You know what's the interesting thing about... Oh, hold on.
Yeah, let's practice spells that won't blow up the car.
Keep this in mind, Jova. This is important. Yep.
You gotta believe.
No, it's literally what he said. You must speak with passion. Yeah, from your heart's fire. Come on, Ian.
Besides, I don't think the inside of the car is the best bit to do it anyway.
It's nice to see that Barley's a supporter, Big Brother. That's nice. Amazing.
So basically, they pull his dad with a dog collar thingy.
Wait for the best.
All right, the Manticore's Tavern.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, yeah, it's been centuries since then, so yeah.
Oh my
So yeah,
god.
now it's a family restaurant.
That's the thing, Lips. It's a Dungeons and Dragons themed family restaurant.
Hey, look at the bright side, Ian. You can relive your childhood with your dad now.
Oh god, it's terrifying.
And Manticore's a bloody mascot.
The great Manticore, everybody.
I'm guessing she's had better
The
days.
runner of a restaurant. She's voiced by Octavia Spencer.
Yeah, and excellently so, I might add.
I don't think I've seen her in anything actually.
Oh my god. How
Yeah,
old are you?
now they sue my restaurant.
It's a shame they didn't have a smartphone. They could have literally just taken a picture of it then.
Well, Ian's gonna try it this way. Fuck you, bloggers.
What?
Yeah.
True.
I love the way she's animated.
Yeah.
You did that actually.
Yeah, exactly.
It's right there.
Like that's kind
You have
of
to take
your whole
risks in life to have an
shtick.
adventure.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Set her off.
Well, that employee's dead.
Jeez.
I think she's having a midlife crisis.
I don't know if that
Now
was the
get out.
intended effect.
Well, crap.
How long has she been waiting to do that? I
Well,
wonder?
good job, Ian. You broke a woman's
Oh,
brain.
snap.
Well, crap. Now what?
Even he knows to get the heck out of there.
Oh.
Yeah, that would have been sad if the dad died twice.
At the hands of the person who wants to see him, also.
Well, congrats! We just caused a child's place establishment to get burned down.
Honestly, I don't think the investors are going to mess with it.
You see, Ian, it works if you speak with passion. Yeah, keep that in mind for later.
What? It was that easy all along, god damn it.
Well, like Barley said, Joe, on a quest, we have to use what we have.
And it makes me wonder, did we have to make the woman suffer a midlife crisis?
Don't worry, Joe. I'm sure it will all turn out fine.
It's
Why do
more
I
fun
get-
this way.
How do I get
Oh, this
to
is
bring up
important,
the
actually.
court? What?
Oh dear.
Actually, it's a role-playing game, Ian.
How dare you?
Not an adventure. The technical term is role-playing, Ian.
Huh. I mean, on the one hand, I get it, but normally you'd think a movie would, have them go for the more adventurous means for some reason. But I guess, like you said, time is of the essence.
And by the way, for those who don't know in the audience, Gelatinous Cube, that's another reference to Dungeons and Dragons.
Main man.
Man, irony is a bitch. You forgot to tell them about the curse. You guys still there?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh, another thing I forgot. We probably talked over it, Joe, but earlier during the prologue, both the mom and the stepfather were saying that Barley needs to actually, get a job, considering he's now, of legal age, technically an adult and stuff like that. Keep that in mind for later, because it's going to come up. Okay. So as you can see, Jova, this is the comedy relief plot of the movie.
Oh yeah, I can tell.
Whoa.
Oh my god, she melted!
Yeah, now we have a mom's road trip. Although I don't know if the Manticore is a mom, but still.
So yeah, Guinevere, he actually built Guinevere from scratch, Barley, I mean. Oh, okay. Yeah, by this point, no.
He's called Colt. Oh, you have got to be joking me.
I actually like this upcoming gag here.
20 hours and 6 minutes. Yes, let's set fire to an oil field. Jeez. It's almost like golfing. Yes.
Oh. Well, that backfired. That's okay. We'll find a different way to get gas.
Are you sure?
Huh. You know, if you can't reverse this, your mother's going to go into conniptions when she sees that.
Fortunately, it's a temporary spell. Alright, Joe, remember the pixie fairies we saw in the prologue?
Yes.
They're bikers now.
Sure, why not? Imps.
They're great.
Yeah, I kind of feel sorry for the composers, because of the two Pixar films they were in, one was a flop because it was just bang average, and the other one was a flop because of poor timing.
Yeah, it's sad.
It did very well online though, because Disney had it up for sale initially.
Yeah, digitally actually was a big hit on digital, fortunately. So,
Cool.
Hold on.
Oh no.
Hold on. Literally.
His head. Or his torso in general, to be honest.
Of course it will.
Awesome.
You just happen to have all of this tattooed on you.
I'll eat your heart out.
You sold it. Oh.
She really did.
Imagine if like King Arthur, he sold his sword because he ran up a gambling debt.
Literally, the story of her life seems to be, I sold out big.
Were you calling whimsical?
Oh no. Oh god.
Oh my god, how much of a thin skin do you have, woman? Seriously.
Admittedly, kind of is rude to be told that, oh, you've fallen from grace and all that right to your face. Especially if it's from another race, but you know. Oh.
Yeah. Oh no. Oh, hang on, I love this.
Oh crap.
They just threatened to glass someone in a Pixar movie. This is great.
Well, it's not the first time. I mean, Cinderella threatened to glass.
Ralph breaks the
No,
No,
internet.
I mean like Pixar specifically.
Yeah, that was a Disney movie, technically.
Well,
Yeah.
Pixar movies are Disney movies.
Oh, okay, a movie by Walt Disney Animation Studio. It's a different studio, basically, what we're saying.
Oh yes.
You're gonna have to, Ian.
It's either that or we die.
We've done other stuff that's illegal already. We might as well carry on.
Yeah, at this point.
What's next? Cattle rustling?
This is another great thing. Oh, push it. Oh, for Onward. There you go. That's why this movie's called Onward. There you go. All right.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh. We're gonna have to merge. So, do you think that's good advice? You'll never be ready anyway. Just do it.
No.
Well, Wibbs, to be fair, like, just constantly being afraid that you're not going to be doing it's not going to help. So just try it.
Well, no, what I mean is, sometimes, you have to be ready on the road.
Well, true, but at the same time, like, okay.
Oh no.
That's another thing, like, of all the Pixar movies in recent years, this is this is the most consistently funny that they've done in years for me. Like, it's just like the jokes don't just hit; they soar to me. Like, all the jokes are not just funny; they're hilarious. You see what I mean?
Oh god.
The dad is used for some really great physical comedy.
Yeah, pixies can be a nasty bunch to deal with.
Clearly.
That's one thing that didn't change after all those years, I see. Good old air conditioning. Do not fail me now.
Oh no, I've got flies in my windshield.
Wipe them off.
How will I cope?
Oh snap, they got the turbo.
That's right. There you go. See? Barley was just trying to help you.
Huh.
Yeah, but now I wonder if that help's going to backfire.
Absolutely terrible timing.
Uh-oh.
Oh, come on! Oh god, this is not a good look for them.
It's a bloody
Not
joint
at all.
driver now, isn't it?
Okay, how are we gonna get out of this one? So we have to pretend to be somebody else without lying.
Of course.
Police.
So who voices the police officer?
I forgot. I know it's not Jen Ratzenberger. That's a different character.
Oh crap.
Don't lie, Ian. Oh.
Perfect loophole.
Oh my god, it's genius! Mel Rodriguez voices the
Colt Bronco.
Centaur.
Okay.
Oh, he was the cameo in the Captain Underpants movie. So yeah, 2 good animated movies he was in at least. Have you guys seen that film?
I have. I love it.
Yeah, me too.
Calm down, Ian. Calm down. It's okay.
Well, at least he's telling the truth.
Well, that's the whole idea, though. If you tell a lie, unfortunately, the spell will be ruined.
Oh god. No, 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 no. Oh.
Well, technically, he's been sincere for himself, Jova.
Oh, I know for a moment I thought they were. Well, I kind of knew they were talking about him, so I was afraid that that would count as a lie.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Speak of the devil.
That's the thing. Ian didn't realize it at the time. Oh.
This is awkward.
The spectre had changed.
Oh, crud.
Clever lady, aren't you?
Hmm. It doesn't work like that, dude.
Ah,
We don't have a whole lot of time, do we?
Oh,
so he can hear?
oh, he's about to explain.
Oh, right, the vibrations. Okay, so he's like Beethoven, fair enough.
Also, I think, well, me and Pedro and Pixie kind of theorized that he could probably sense the tension. So now he's dad dancing, which
Great.
is helpful, I guess.
Even when he's half there, he's a better dad than a lot of people. Oh my god.
I mean, along the way on the path you've been taking, you've run into gangs, nearly got crossed on the road.
So yeah, let's try this path of peril.
Also got stopped by the police.
That is true as well.
Oh, I love this scene.
Same.
Oh, a punch.
Wait for it. Don't tell her that! God.
Yeah.
Got Tracy Ullman voicing the this little creature.
The pawn shop owner. Interesting ringtone you've got there, honey.
Yeah. And the fact that it's appeared twice in this movie now.
So basically, they're trying to buy a sword from a British gremlin.
Yes, in order to curse the crush. Yeah, winged scorpion. Yeah, a manticore is a winged scorpion lady. You get it right.
Rude.
Well, winged lion scorpion lady. Are we going all Thelma and Louise on this now?
Well, let's see.
At this point, the whole family is going to be arrested for charges.
And what if he has to do all the arresting?
Tragedy. People are very insightful in this movie. I like that.
Well, the path of peril is not as perilous as I was imagining.
And it doesn't look like they've had anything holding them back for once.
Well, okay. One thing I will say so far in terms of fantasy movies that I've watched this year, this one's the best one.
What other fantasy movies have you seen this year?
Oh, and this is important.
I won't go too into it, but Ni no Kuni.
Ah.
And I'm pretty sure there was some others, but I can't remember.
Oh, snap. Jeez, we almost did go Thelma and Louise there.
You know, if they were any further, they could have reenacted the Italian Job. But Disney told us that that the bottomless pit is impossible.
Well, what now?
Magic?
Obviously.
Ooh, kind of fell a bit short there.
You know, he calls you a screw up, but he probably should also call you rude. Haha, you can't do magic, lol.
That's not what he's saying. Like he just finds it cute, like he said.
Oh god, it literally is a trust bridge.
Well, actually, Jova, on the Blu-ray, that's the name of the chapter in this chapter in the chapter selection menu, Trust Bridge. So,
of course.
So yeah, basically you have to believe hard enough that the bridge is there, and yeah. Okay, that
Okay. Unless the rope breaks, in which case...
Death!
No, as far as he knows, the worst that could happen would be that, he'd fall, but his brother would catch him. Like I said, unless the rope breaks. But it's best not to tell him that.
yeah, you can do this, Ian. Come on. There you go.
Now just pray that that bridge goes straight. This has got to be a skeptic's worst nightmare. Oh no. Do not tell him. Don't tell him. Yes.
He has it. Yeah,
He has the rope, all right.
Yeah, but yeah.
Oh god. Oh no. No. Jesus, the moment he turned back.
Wow, I think Barley nearly had a heart attack.
I think he literally did just see his life flash before his eyes on that one. Wow.
Did you really, Ian?
He made it to the other side, so...
Yep.
Well, that actually, Pedro, the answer is no. Not yep.
Well, look, a raven.
Maybe
no,
it's
it's
the
Maleficent's castle.
Maybe it's the mountain that literally looks like a beak pointing up.
There you go. And the raven points to another raven.
Huh.
Well,
Oh dear.
Oh well. Yep, definitely fits the description. Oh well. Looks like it's over.
Oh no.
Don't say it. This is a Disney movie.
You can only say that in a PG-13 Disney movie. Goody, now it's GTA.
Well, technically, no. We're using our own vehicle, so technically, no. It is not Grand Theft Auto. So.
I mean, to be fair, you can still run from the police in your own vehicle in GTA.
True.
So, how many stars they worth?
So, Dibs, how many GTA stars would you say they have right now?
2.
Ah,
Probably,
the
yeah.
police are already tailing them.
Yeah, he has a good point. That's most likely. Oh well. So what now?
Oh boy.
Nope.
Believe in yourself.
Nada.
Rise to Valhalla? Oh no.
Oh, crap.
Sacrificing his car.
Van, but yeah.
No, his speed.
Goodbye, Vice Steed.
I love the music here.
I know.
It even has wings.
The parking violations. Wow. He sacrificed that just so they can see their dad. Wow.
Remember, he built that thing.
Wow.
The only thing he has left is that little light.
Let it not be said that there was no sacrifice in this movie.
Honestly, like something like seeing this free time, like this is the third time I'm watching this movie. Like this scene really speaks for, like, despite the problems that are there as there are with every family, this really speaks for the bond that they have. Like even with the father, like before he died.
Mm-hmm.
What I also love about that scene is that it's hilarious, but there's also a sad undertone to it because, like Jova said, it's a sacrifice. Like this movie does such a fantastic job in perfectly blending its comedy with its story.
It's an honorable sacrifice.
Absolutely. I mean, trust me, anyone who you know has owned a car or has built together a car can know the sentimentality one can share with their vehicle of all things. And this movie has made it no secret how much he treasured Guinevere.
Pointing down
Oh.
into the sewers, apparently.
Oh boy, a sewer level. Huh? What?
Oh. Huh.
let's hope it means the X marks the spot, not the X as in don't go this way, you numpties.
All right.
Oh,
Jesus.
Rapid alicorns! Boy, My Little Pony ending really did a number on the horse population. They can't get any work, and already they've devolved into rabbit style.
Cool.
And on our next part of the tour, you will see over here the mystical sword in the stone.
We've only got 5 hours and 42 minutes. Well, like Barley said,
Giant Cheez-It.
like Barley said, in a quest, you have to use what you've got.
Is that why you brought the Watsits, Twibs?
Sorry?
Is this why you brought the Watsits?
The what's this for exactly?
Oh, I thought you said you had Watsits.
Very funny, kids.
Although, sorry, the movie audio did cover a bit what Shuri was saying.
Also,
Oh,
what?
okay, sorry.
So yeah, apparently
Okay,
the curse,
ladies and gentlemen.
apparently this curse that we keep talking about turns into a rock dragon. Keep that in mind for later. Oh, God. Pixie Fairy in the windshield! Pixie Fairy in the windshield!
Oh no.
Sprouting pixie dust and everything.
Well, we can't have blood, so...
So Liz, what would you recommend doing if you have a Pixie Fairy in your windshield?
Pull over.
Well, we just did, actually, so...
Oh boy. Come on, giant dragon,
So, yeah.
lion, scorpion lady.
So yeah, Barley has
Cool.
been... During the trip, Barley has been teaching Yin other spells.
It's probably all soggy as well.
Alright, this is actually important, so pay attention.
Let's workshop some of those.
Didn't you say free earlier? Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that was plenty awkward. Let's
It
move
can't
on.
be pleasant, though.
Moving on.
Oh. So what is the final gauntlet? Jeffrey Katzenberg?
Well, think about it, Jova. What have we been bringing up over the course of this movie? That could be
Jova recently,
that could be the final gauntlet.
although Jova recently, the great beast of Comcast has eliminated. that
Oh
threat.
shit!
Oh, yes.
Oh dear. Oh no.
Oh no!
Oh, but it can.
A gelatinous cube!
And it's sentient
Oh,
somehow.
an acidic one.
That's how it is in the game. Yeah, we don't have time for this. Let's just... Yeah.
Fuck with these things, actually.
Ooh.
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 Well, we're definitely not going back that way. You know, now that I think about it, more death traps would just make it so that there's absolutely no way for the people to go back and escape. Like, boom, there's your way to keep your amazing treasure safe forever.
Yeah, there are dungeons that really work like that. Depends on how the dungeon master is feeling.
Curious, Pedro, have you done Dungeons and Dragons as well?
Back in my day, yeah. Don't really do it anymore, sadly. But back when I was younger, yes. Unless...
What about someone who doesn't have breath to hold?
Exactly. Very good, Webs. Okay, now, Jova.
Yes.
We're about to enter the third act, and this is a movie directed by the guy who directed Monsters University. You know what that means?
Yeah. Subversion ahoy. We've nearly died. And all for...
Going back to
Going to school.
This is a cruel, 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 cruel joke.
So you could have just gone to school and did this.
Well, they didn't know.
It's actually not quite that, as you'll see.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh, so that's the second time in 3 years that Chris Pratt messed something up. Although to be fair, in this case, it didn't result in half the world being erased.
Did he mess up, though?
I wonder.
Oh yeah, that's John Ratzenberger, the red monster on the left.
John
Yes.
Ratzenberger. I kind of wish I would have given him the role of Colt Bronco, just so he would have a bigger role instead of just a random extra role.
That's what he always seems to do that when he's not playing Ham.
All right, pay attention here.
Well, I guess there's also Merc, but yeah.
Well, looks like we'll not get to do anything then.
Well, we did get to go driving.
Yeah, 1 out of 5 or 6 isn't that bad, is it?
Did you get to play catch? You definitely took a walk with him. So in a way, your brother was kind of your father.
Yeah, he already had one.
You never needed this to begin with, Ian. You always had it.
Huh.
Oh, look at that.
He
Looks-
didn't know what he was doing.
There you go. The quest was indeed the right one. It's just that, you know, we happened to be at the goal and went away from the goal at the beginning.
But we wouldn't have had a movie if we knew that.
We just took a really, really long detour, okay? It happens sometimes.
That's how D&D works, though.
A curse, yeah.
I guess to be fair, if we hadn't taken this detour, we probably wouldn't have been able to get the sword that could defeat said curse.
Hey, school will be out for a bit.
Oh no.
So the villain is school. Yeah, that pretty much matches up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Well, it needs to draw in whatever's nearby, and it just
I
happens
mean,
to be
hell,
the school.
people are complaining about our twist villains. Well, you can't have a twist villain if there is no villain.
Oh, hang on, I like this.
The roar is the school bell.
I don't remember noticing that actually when I saw this in the cinema.
That is so terrifying and adorable at the same time.
Honestly, to school children, hearing the bell ring is probably quite unsettling. So, you know.
I love this one here.
Oh, snap.
Oh crap.
Which is a bit out of practice.
She's doing well.
Goody. Okay, so we won't get to see Dad under the most ideal of situations, but it could be worse.
Slay the dragon. Yeah, we're kind of tight on time. We'll save that for later.
Yes!
And nope.
Oh, crud.
But it's okay.
You got the one with the giant sword.
I am a mighty warrior. There you go, Joe. But she's been practicing for this her whole life, apparently.
She didn't know it, but yep.
Come on.
Very good. There you go. See, Liz, it turns out we did need Chris Pratt's help to make this work.
Just to shove him, give him a little push.
To make him sure he doesn't fly away because he's light.
Ah, of course it is.
Well, now what?
To be fair, if he doesn't do that, we may be joining Dad in the afterlife if he doesn't do this.
Yeah.
Aw, they're like the Super Mario Brothers. Oh boy.
Just don't say Avada Kedavra.
Hey, Jova.
What?
Looks like Ian found the source of his heart's fire, wouldn't you say?
Uh-huh.
So there you go, Jova. Turns out it wasn't Ian that needed this. It was Barley that needed this.
But of course... Oh!
Yeah, use what you have. Ha!
Yep.
My God, that's so ingeniously clever.
That is an amazing loophole.
Yeah, like the power of a splinter.
Remember, there was magic in every fiber, like Barley said.
Also, yeah, we don't get to see the father's face, but yeah, it's so big.
It's actually part of it. I'll explain my final thoughts.
Well, we've already seen his face anyway.
That too. We saw it in the photos as well. So.
Well, today's been very eventful.
Hi, Dad. You were walking as like half yourself for like 23 hours and 56 minutes.
You must have felt some very, very, very weird things going about here.
Yeah, it was like
Well,
2 minutes left.
a much better final memory, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
I mean, it is pretty righteous to get to meet your dad after defeating a giant stone dragon.
Again, what I love about this, again, like I've said, the subversiveness of it. Like they spent the entire movie making us think that Ian was the one that needed this the most, when it was Barley that needed this all the more because of his last memory with his father was kind of as he said, not his favorite.
That's a dad joke, all right.
So yeah, now the world's going to have a bit of a compromise when it comes to tech and magic.
Nice.
We call it techno magic, a word which I'm sure has been used before.
It's called steampunk. Dibs.
Wait. I'm not quite sure steampunk is the combination between technology and magic. Steampunk's more just, well, tech.
Okay, I guess you can say that.
Mechanics, isn't it? Like
whatever then.
The term for the combination between the two is
sci-fi fantasy. Then I guess I don't know.
Yeah.
Are you saying that you are not pleased that we destroyed the school? What kind of child are you?
Getting some mixed messages from a fellow classmate.
I wonder, is there a magic spell that allows him to get his homework done?
And hey, the new boyfriend and the sons are on better terms. It's not to say they didn't get on at all. It's just
Oh snap! Run wild and free.
besides, this car can fly.
I love Televar. Hey Jova, Jova, the most obvious path is never the right one. After these two movies we've seen of his, probably this is how Dan Skillen thinks when he writes.
Yeah. Cute.
And that was
an after credits scene.
There isn't.
Oh, weird. There tends to be in Pixar movies.
I do like this song that we're hearing right now. Actually, it's called "Carried Me With You," and it's interesting because it's not a Randy Newman song, but it feels very much like again, Dan Skillen is a big fan of the '80s. This feels like one of those credits ballads that you see, kind of like how Don Bluth movies like American Tail and Land Before Time had ballads that have lyrics vaguely describing the plot, the themes of the movie. Like this feels a lot like one of those. So I do like that they put this here instead of a generic pop song or just orchestra.
Also, I don't know if we've mentioned it before during the commentary, but this is the first Pixar movie to have absolutely no involvement
From John Lasseter
whatsoever.
And it shows. It shows so much because ever since Cars 2, John Lasseter's decisions at Pixar have been very hit and miss, let's just say, because the guy kind of, not to mention, as we know, the guy's not exactly the best person as we've known.
So, final thoughts?
Yeah. This is the first one with Pete Docter in charge, yes. Jova, since you're the newcomer, why don't you start?
Yeah, and I really enjoyed this movie. I'm not quite sure if it's my favorite Pixar movie. Like, that may be reserved to stuff like Toy Story 2, sort of like, maybe... Oh, God, was Inside Out a Pixar movie?
Yes.
Yeah, But it's definitely one of the best Pixar movies that has, been around in recent times. It's nice. And it subverts expectations in a good way, mind you. It does it in a way that's beneficial to the plot, not just for the sake of, oh, it's totally not what you wanted, so therefore that makes it brilliant. No, it actually does do it to the benefit of the plot. The cast and characters are all nice and varied, and it is nice to see, the compromise between technology and magic by the end here and there, realizing that maybe some of the old shouldn't have been forgotten with all of the new.
And vice
the
versa.
Music's good. Yeah, exactly. The music's good, the story's good, it's a very good movie, and I wholeheartedly enjoyed it. Well done, Pixar. Well done.
For me, it's just one of those things where, again, like I've said, I didn't like movies like Incredibles 2 and Toy Story 4 because they just felt like such misfires for me. And outside of Coco and Inside Out, Pixar's output in the last decade has always been a bit very iffy to me. Starting with stuff like Cars 2, Brave, mediocre.
Monsters University.
Monsters University was one of the select few of those where I was actually quite a big fan of, despite a lot of people not liking it.
Well, that's sort of because Great Elise, interesting.
So I was actually at the time when I saw the marketing for this movie, because again, much like it looked like, oh, this doesn't look like very interesting. I can already tell that this is gonna be a story about letting go and and stuff like that. Technically, it is not. At its core, this is a love story, a brotherly love story. So, and it does such a great job in hiding that for most of it. Like it plants all the seeds throughout the movie for it, but during all this time, and like I said, during all this time, you've constantly pointed Ian as the one that desperately needs this because he's never gotten to meet his dad. And I can also tell you, Joe, as well. Dan Skellen has an older brother who's 2 years older than him, and one of the last memories he has of his dad is a scratchy beard, just like Barley. So again, you can't get much more of a personal story than this. But basically, someone asked on Twitter to Dan, so was that whole thing with the was that an actual thing your brother had with his dad? No, that was made up. And he replied, that was made up for the movie, but the scratchy beard, that's real. So it is really cool how Dan was able to draw into the tragedy of his life to really create a great story. Again, you can tell this was a story that he really wanted to tell because he's actually very passionate about this particular subject matter, and it really feels the heart of the movie. Like this movie, this entire movie, every frame of this movie feels carefully crafted by an incredibly passionate director. And after Monsters University, which was a movie that had a fantastic for that, this feels like Dan Skellen is now completely mastered his craft. Like the primary great thing that of Monsters University returns, a for that completely subverts what the first two acts made you expect, and so Jova, you once told me that the third act of Monsters University is great, but we need an entire movie but the first two acts were not on that level, so we need a more movie. So would you say, Jova, that Onward is the movie where Dan Scallion managed to perfect this formula?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, like I said, I've had my first set of issues with Monsters University that kind of do hold it back from being like cream of the corn, but while still a good movie, but this one definitely does feel much more on the level here for that. So yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, I was a fan of Monsters University. I've always defended it as one of the seriously underappreciated of the Pixar sequel/prequels, because technically it is a prequel. And after this, I'm genuinely a big fan of Dan Scallion because I really like his style in particular. Like, and what I like most about it is that like he sticks to just good old fashioned character development and emotional storytelling. You know what Pixar does best. You know, instead of trying to do something. Instead of just trying to rip off Disney as Brave, and yeah, sorry, I just didn't care for Brave.
Join the club.
I didn't really care for it up either.
Yeah. I showed it to
my point.
I showed it to Dwebs recently, and he didn't care for it either. But yeah, and one particular thing that I would like to mention is that while this is another movie that proves that it's not what story you're telling, it's how you tell it. Because when you break it down, yeah, the story is not as inventive as something like Inside Out, but it doesn't really need to, because it's executed pretty much flawlessly. And it does such a fantastic job in making the characters likable, giving them some very great and heartfelt character arcs. That's another thing. While it's not the best Pixar movie, like while it's not as inventive as something like Inside Out, or as ambitious as something like Coco or stuff like that, I would argue, from a personal standpoint, I find this to be their most heartfelt story in a while that they've told. Because it really does a great job in with the emotional bits. It's because it does such a fantastic job in building up to them in a way that still feels deceptive, like we said. Like the third act is where everything gets thrown up its head. Oh, now we're back at the beginning, and of course, and you never needed any of this, unbeknownst to him. As the song that we just heard in the credits said, I was just too blind to see it. So it's really cool. So I love this movie in particular. Like, as someone who's been very, 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 let's just say, not approving of John Lasseter's the second half of his reign, specifically at Pixar, with this being the first movie that was produced under Pete Docter's supervision instead of John Lasseter, I can definitely, yeah, and you can tell, because compared to something like Toy Story 4, this unlike Toy Story 4, which was clearly made because of commercial reasons, this feels like a true passion project that was made because the filmmaker had a story to tell. And I really appreciate the fact that Pete Docter's reign is already showing great fruits. So definitely looking forward to now the next one, Soul, which is also directed by Pete Docter, the director of Inside Out, and who's now the creative head of Pixar. So that's about it. For me, it's just a wonderful, wonderful family film that can be enjoyed on the same terms by both. It's not even one of those cases where the story, you like, it's one of those cases where, the kids will like the jokes, but the adults will appreciate the deeper themes of this. No, not really. This story is very approachable even to kids. Kids will still be able to perfectly understand what's going on, but at the same time, the adults will be able to appreciate not only how heartfelt it is, but of course, the Dungeons and Dragons fan service is absolutely delightful. And again, like I said, this is a much better Dungeons and Dragons movie than the actual Dungeons and Dragons movie. So thanks for that, Dan. And that's it for me. And absolutely to me, I haven't enjoyed a Pixar movie in a long time, and I'm so glad that like this truly to me feels like a golden age Pixar movie that only got made now. I would argue this movie is like on the level of a Ratatouille, for example. I would argue it's on the level of a Toy Story 3 or a WALL-E, but I would argue it's on the level of a Ratatouille. So yeah, love the movie, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what Dan Scallion makes next. Shiri.
Yes, no, I love this movie. It's again, this is my third time seeing it, so yeah.
Does it
And
get
the second
better
time
with
was-
multiple viewings?
Yeah, it does. No, it's a really good movie. Like Pedro said, it's like this is a pretty, common story idea, but it is told in such a fun way. And like the music is great, like very like pretty unique as far as Pixar stuff goes. Like it works very well with everything that's going on. Like there's just even like this is another one of those Disney movies that doesn't really have a villain, and I do quite like those. Like the characters we do have, even the ones who are in any way antagonistic, I don't really dislike anyone here. Like they're all really cool characters, and yeah, like I love the message of the movie that it's going for. Like I don't know if this would be considered a found family movie because they were already brothers, but the realization that like his brother was his father figure, I guess, could be considered as that, and that's something I also really like. Yeah, this is just an awesome movie, and it's a shame that obviously, circumstances, it didn't do so well at the box office, but it made up for it with the digital stuff, so it didn't really lose out much.
I mean, I don't think even money obsessed Disney's going to hold this film. It's going to hold this film accountable for bad profits too much.
Not
But this
really.
movie made a lot of money, even so.
On digital,
it's just the
yeah.
box office stuff that was, yeah. No, it's a great movie.
They were selling it on iTunes and Amazon and other stuff for $20. So $20 for every viewing. Yeah, that's actually that would be very profitable for them, most likely, considering the sale numbers.
For £3.49.
Well, you rented it though. Like back when it first released digitally, it was only available for purchase, not for renting. So, all right, Dwibs, close us out.
Actually, this movie. Yeah, I'm kidding. I did. I do enjoy this movie a lot. Well, actually, I don't remember watching that many trailers for this movie before it came out, mainly because I didn't watch a lot of kids' films in the previous year before the movie released. But yeah, overall, I do enjoy the movie. But my favorite part of it is my favorite part is the interactions between the brothers.
Mm-hmm. But that's the heart of the movie, so.
Well, yeah, I mean, if that wasn't any good, then the movie's not good, is it? And also, I really liked the score. But like I said, though, it's unfortunate that the Dana brothers had their score was in another Pixar flop. Although this time it wasn't really the movie.
Well, I can tell you that their score for the Addams Family movie was pretty good as well. So I don't know how that did at the box office, but that was another good score as well.
Well, I'll check that when we eventually do the Addams Family movie.
Sure.
But yeah, overall, I do enjoy this movie. Although I also feel sorry for it because great movie, but unfortunately, it turned out the timing of release wasn't very good. At the time of recording, the movie hasn't even released in Italian theaters yet, so don't think Tio's gotten the chance to see it yet either.
Well, at this point, he might as well just get... I mean, I think they skipped the theatrical release by this point, most likely.
I'm not sure how it is in Italy, but yeah. But still, overall, for those of us who did get to see it, I enjoyed it a lot, and I'm one of the lucky few that saw this in cinemas as well. So
yeah,
double yay!
It's to answer your question, Dwibs, the marketing for this movie, if you ask me, was terrible. Shira even commented on this when we were watching it for the first time, because if you go watch the trailers don't even... Okay, obviously we don't want to show anything for the third act because, massive spoilers for the subversions. But they didn't even show anything about the Dungeons and Dragons elements. Like, that would have been a cool way to make the movie more appealing, but no, they just made it look like a generic road trip movie, because if you go back and watch the trailers, they don't show anything good. Like,
also, I think this was the first Pixar movie to try and advertise the actors in the movie.
Well, considering it's Tom Holland and Chris Pratt, I'm not surprised.
But that's something DreamWorks doing. Pixar, with all the will in the world, are not DreamWorks, and well.
I will say though, however, that it did work in the movie's effect, in the sense that you go in, and that's what happened to me. I went in with low expectations, not just because the marketing was not very good, but because at the time I'm not really feeling it with Pixar. But this movie completely completely subverts what the trailers say it's about. Like, it is not at all. It does such a great job in perfectly making you think it's going to a different way while not going. And like Jova said, it does it in a way that's beneficial to the story. And again, apparently this is Dan Skillen's thing, because he also did this in Monsters University. So the most clear path is not the most obvious path is not the right one. Apparently this is Dan Skillen's writing philosophy, apparently. So looking forward to see whatever he does after this, because he's, in my eyes, is already one of the new great Pixar directors. So looking forward to whatever Dan makes next. But I guess next time we'll be Soul, but we'll see how that goes. Anyway, everybody, that was Onward. I hope you enjoyed this as much as we did, and tune in for whatever Pixar movie we do next.
See ya.
See ya.
See ya.